truly is a pleasure to be here, and a delight for all of us, and in particular our Hevolution team that has been working on bringing this initiative to the Gulf, to the region, and to the kingdom for the last 2 years, with a vision to do this for the benefit of all. This roadmap, as you learn, is a global roadmap. It has included representation from commissioners from North America, Europe, Australasia, the Far East, and South America. And in fact, as you learn during the day, it is relevant to every living human being on the planet, because the one thing, amongst others, that we share is that we all age and, unfortunately for many, get afflicted with the conditions and diseases associated with aging. I want to thank my board, our chairman, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Prince Abdullah bin Bandar bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, who is chairman of our executive committee, for their leadership, sponsorship, and guidance in the vision of the creation of Hevolution Foundation and the opportunity to bring about the best in science, health, medicine, entrepreneurship, and investment to move this field forward collectively. I'd like to thank Dr. Bandar Al-Kanawi, president of KMARC, and as you heard from him just now, his friendship is key to making this successful and actually allowing us to host in this facility. I want to thank my friends Dr. Victor Zhao from the National Academy of Medicine, Dean Linda Fried, Professor John Yu-Lee Wang, who are fellow Global Roadmap Commissioners, members of the Global Health Council, and its General Manager, Suleiman Salih Al-Dakhil. I'd like to thank all of our illustrious speakers who've traveled from all over the world to share their thoughts, participate in this event, and really launch this path forward for us. I'd like to remind that this is the third global event in this series of this global roadmap. The first was hosted in Singapore, in fact, by Professor John Wang at his home country in August of last year. The second was in Washington, D.C. at the National Academy of Medicine in November, and we're honored to be hosting the third global roadmap for the Gulf right here in Riyadh. We couldn't be more pleased to provide this opportunity to bring this field together. We will discuss the relevance of the roadmap for the world, but also, importantly, focus on its implications for the Gulf, with a special emphasis for our hosts here in Riyadh and the Kingdom. We look forward to these discussions, both as individual keynotes, but also through different panels. I encourage during the breakouts everybody to take the opportunity to engage with our international speakers, our world experts, and really think through in understanding what the impact of aging as a field, its impacts on demographics, its impact on health, its impact on society, the cities we live in, and the citizens of our countries. Importantly, though, is to think about the opportunity. This is, as you will learn, aging and its implications are not inevitable from a biological perspective. And what are the opportunities to change the health course so that we don't think about just living longer? That is not the goal of the roadmap. This is about living healthier for as long as possible. The biggest thing we always hear as clinicians from patients, they're more interested in living healthier lives as long as possible, not just longer lives for the sake of living longer. However, not all solutions, as you'll hear, are globally applicable. There is an opportunity to bring the solutions from around the world, the best ideas, and land them here, and we'll talk more. So without further ado, I'd like to invite our first keynote, Dr. Victor Zhao, who is the president of the U.S. National Academy of Medicine. I've had the privilege of being a friend of his for the last 20 years, and more importantly, I should say I've been a student of his for the last 20 years. About 3 years ago, He and I had dinner in Washington, and he said, I want to talk to you about an idea I have. And I said, uh-oh, when Victor says that, he says, well, we're thinking about launching a global roadmap on aging from the National Academy of Medicine. And as I listened, I sort of knew there was an ask coming, as is usual with any discussion with Victor. And the ask was, Mehmood, I want you involved. Well, who knew that 3 years later, we'd be standing here in Riyadh, launching the global roadmap for not only the world, but for the region. And with that, I'd like to invite my friend, mentor, and the president of the National Academy of Medicine to come on and give his remarks. Thank you very much.